Hello everyone and welcome to another high-elo game of Age of Empires. Today we find ourselves barricaded behind stone walls on Fortress to witness a match between our blue Goth player Carbo and our purple Cuman Fury. Now while both players herd their herdables, cut down forests, and try to go up to feudal as fast as possible, let's take a look at their respective civs. Now you know how some civilizations, their tech trees and their bonuses push you towards cavalry or archers or navy. The Goth civilization very much pushes you towards infantry. Their barracks work 20% faster, and their infantry are cheaper and become even more cheaper as the game progresses, all the way up to 35% off when you get to Imperial. In addition to that, as the ages progress, all infantry do get attack bonuses against buildings. Now, you can research two very useful techs that help supplement your infantry-based army. The first doubles the speed of barracks production. So you heard that right, 100% increase in speed of barracks production. And second, allows you to produce your unique unit out of your barracks. Now, what unique unit is that, you might ask? Why, none other than the original archer killer himself, the Huskarl. Now, with a base pierce armor of 6 that goes up to 8 when you upgrade to elite, this is an unit that is essentially basically bulletproof when it comes to archers. Now, in addition to the armor upgrade, which it has against archers, it also has up to a plus 10 attack against archers when you get into the elite Huskarl category. And in addition to the plus 3 base attack against buildings, it does get up to a plus 6 attack against buildings. So this is a unit that can raid, that can demolish structures, and is basically, like I said, bulletproof when it comes to archers. Aside from that, the Huskarl is fairly, I would say, a medium-level infantry with a below-average hand-to-hand combat strength, in my opinion. And lastly, the cool thing about the Goths, once you reach Imperial, you have an extra 10 population room, so while your opponent, the purple Cuman, is stuck with 200 population, you, as the Goth player, can go up to 210. Now, overall, because of their faster barracks, their cheaper infantry, the Goths are known to put on a lot of pressure in the early game. And if you don't get rid of them in the early game or the mid game, and you're unfortunate enough to face them in the late game, man, they can spam those infantry units out of their barracks much cheaper, much faster than you can. So be careful, they can spam infantry until the cows come home. Now, if you play the Goths, if you spawn them randomly or choose to play them to perfect your strategies, get very comfortable with being aggressive, because they are a piss-poor civilization when it comes to defending, mostly because they are one of the only 2 civs in the game that don't have stone walls. Now, by pure coincidence, our blue Goth player is playing the only other civ in the game to not have stone walls, which are the Cumans in purple, as I said, played by Fury. Now, whereas the Goth civ pushes you very much towards fast, aggressive infantry, the Cumans pushes you towards very fast, aggressive cavalry. They have... the structure itself is built cheaper, and cavalry units get progressively faster as the game goes along, all the way up to 15% faster in Imperial. Now, some cavalry units of the Cumans can be trained much faster, so they are able to spam. Now, as I was right about to say it, one of the 2 best bonuses of the Cumans is once you reach feudal age, and if you take a look at the bottom right of your screen, both players are now in feudal, as I was rambling on about the civ bonuses, etc. It is the only civ that allows you to build a second town center in the feudal age. You do not have to wait until you reach castle. In addition to that, you can also build a siege workshop and start producing rams. So on a map like this, where you are barricaded behind stone walls, it is very little comfort to you if you're playing against the Cumans, because unless your scouting is top-notch, you have no clue if a number of towers and rams all of a sudden show up to whatever side of your base. Look, this doesn't even have a tower to shoo away any villagers. Our blue player is very exposed here. They can show up with a number of siege rams, not just one, and basically take down all of your walls in feudal. Their unique unit is the Kipchak, which is basically a very fast cavalry archer that fires multiple arrows. Now, one important thing to keep in mind, if you are going to rely and go Kipchak, is only the first arrow does full damage. The other arrows, I believe it's 3 or 4, depending on whether you've upgraded your unique unit, do much less damage. Overall, though, the Cumans, one of my personal favorites, very versatile civilizations. You can do a bunch of things. You can boom, you can attack in feudal, you can defend in feudal. It's incredibly flexible, gives you a lot of options to outmaneuver your opponent. Now, these are two civs that, now that I see them on the map together, I'm expecting a good amount of aggression out of both players. You know, whether it's the Cumans booming and going bonko in Castle Age, or whether it's the Goths rushing to Castle Age, which, as I'm talking, our Carbo blue Goth player is doing exactly that. Yeah, we're going to see some good aggression, I suspect, out of either of these players. Let's take a look at the map real quick, just so we know where we're fighting, the arena that we're fighting on. Apologies, as always, to anyone on a smaller screen. So the rush distance from the bases, I would say medium. They're not super close, but they're also not super far. A lot of flat ground. This hill here could be very problematic for our Cuman player. This is high ground that you need to control immediately. I mean, he must have... No, he has not seen it. He's seen the beginnings of an incline, but he has not seen... No, what am I saying? Yes, he has. I apologize. He has seen that there's a giant mountain here. If I was him or giving him advice, I would very much recommend grabbing that ASAP. Our Goth player has reached castle. Our Cuman player nowhere close. This is what happens when you build a second town center. Not only do you need a lot of villagers to produce it, it also takes a lot of resources, and it takes a long time. So while you're making it, the sacrifice that you're paying is that the villagers are not gathering resources. So it does put you behind. We're already 12 minutes into the game. Our Goth player is in feudal. Our Cuman player just about has the resources to. He's about 100 food short. And we'll see. Once he gets to 800, I'm 100% sure he's going to go up to castle. And we'll see what he decides to do. I mean, so he's going up to castle. But what's our Goth player doing? Okay, getting a monastery. Let's see their vision. Our Goth player has seen 3 relics. Our purple Cuman has seen 3 relics as well. So the one to the south has not been scouted by anyone. And the one to the, what is this? I guess the southwest has also not been scouted by either player. Let's just double check. Yeah, it's unfortunate. It was right at the edge of his vision here. So he could have seen it, but didn't. And here we go. We have the first Huskarls out. Look at that Pierce armor, 6. So I wonder if he's expecting the Cuman player to go Kipchak once he gets the castle, or just general archer play. Third town center going down. I'm not sure what to think about the location here. I mean, it's always good when you can kill 2 resources with 1 stone. He's got stone here and wood, and he's building farms. This is a very forward positioning here by our blue Goth. I wonder if this implies that he's going to start going aggressive, or if his plan is to go aggressive so that he doesn't have to defend this. Because if he has to defend this, this was all a huge waste of wood, because this farm literally can be attacked from anywhere. This town center can be attacked from anywhere. This stone line is a little safe. Maybe it would have been better served going out onto the map with a town center as opposed to here. It does give him a little bit of protection in this blue kind of defense radius. But I am not the biggest fan of this town center. Let me know in the comments if you agree, disagree. For now, infantry roaming the map. He's got a Huskarl, a scout cavalry, and a spearman, going up to 3 monks. Oh, first monk immediately pays the price. Managed to get all the way to the town walls, but then purple caught him out. Fantastic move here by purple. That being said, a spear is coming, and he's still sitting on 2 monks building a 3rd. Our purple Cuman, first Kipchak is coming out. And in case you didn't notice, and I of course didn't say it, in this version of Fortress, everyone starts with a castle and I believe 10 villagers. So it's not the standard 1 versus 1 random map like Arabia or Black Forest where you start with only 3. Here you start with a bit more infrastructure so that the second you reach Castle Age, you are able to start producing your unique units. Okay, Kipchaks need to be very careful here. Let's look at this. 3 swipes of the sword and the Kipchak is down. He managed to take the Huskarl's HP down by 13 after 3 entire volleys. Let's see if he gets this monk. Who is the monk converting another Kipchak? Okay, so our Cuman player is playing to the strengths of his civ. He is going speed, speed, speed. This is the Fast and the Furious Age of Empires style, but he's got to be careful. These Scout Cavalry have a huge attack bonus against monks. And he's gonna... This Huskarl is super slow. I wonder if he'll be able to convert it. No. For now, both players just roaming the map, gathering relics. Okay, he saw the one to the south. No one yet, I think, has seen this one. Yeah, no one has seen this one. Okay, we have our first Huskarl death, followed by an immediate tiefing of the relic. Our Cuman player has to be careful. I mean, these Kipchaks can outrun. This is what one of their strong suits is. They do hit and runs against infantry. They fire and then they run away. They're so fast. 1.54 speed. That is incredibly fast. So even though the Huskarl has the natural, you know, it's a natural predator of anything archer, you have to be careful because, you know, it's a melee unit. It's a hand-to-hand combat unit. It has to actually attack. It has to be right next to these guys in order to attack them, whereas they can just run away super fast, hit and run, hit and run. That being said, buildings can't do that, and villagers can't do that. Outposts going down, he knows that there's Huskarls on the field. He wants to be able to see them coming a mile away, which they are. A lot of villagers on stone here for our purple Cuman. I wonder if this means we're going to see a castle rush, tower rush. It's definitely not for walls, because like I said, one of the 2 civs, both of these civs do not have access to walls. So that stone is definitely for, if I had to guess, a castle, because he's already sitting at 500. Yeah, we're going up to 12 Huskarls for our Goth player. So he's fully committed to them. Only has 1 upgrade on them, though. Gets a convert, does purple. So a traitor. Oh, and he converts him right back. Amazing. Oh, no, this is what I'm talking about with the Kipchaks. Look at them. They come out of nowhere, and then they immediately snipe. And now they run away. And what the hell are these Huskarls going to do? Are they going to chase up a mountain? Oh, that being said, you have to micro them, because if you don't, the second they get caught out, they pay the price. Okay, so let's follow along on this chase, which, right as I say that, ends. Very forward barracks here by our blue Goth player. Like I said, the positioning of this town center kind of implied that he is not going to be too concerned about aggression in this game coming towards him, mainly because he probably plans to put on the aggression. What is this? Anarchy. Yes, so this is the research that allows you to build Huskarls out of your barracks, I believe. Either that, or it allows your barracks to work twice as fast. So a 50-50 chance, coin flip. We'll see in a second if the barracks starts producing Huskarls. For now, attacking the gate. Look at this tower. Literally doing 1 attack damage to this Huskarl. Wow, not the strongest units, but with the +6 and +3 attack against buildings, I mean, they can stand here all day, and they can just demolish these structures. Because what at the end of the day, yeah, okay, you have 2 monks, and you get a convert. I wouldn't run away, honestly. But yeah, these structures don't stand a chance. That being said, you always have to be careful. Castles are a different beast entirely. They fire fast, and they fire a lot of projectiles. Is there anyone garrisoned inside? No. Oh, no, there is 1 Huskarl. The convert is inside. Okay, I mean, Carbo is throwing away an unnecessary amount of Huskarls here. I mean, so far he's lost 14. I think unnecessarily. I mean, they're good, but... I mean, look at this. They're just dying to the castles. What's the game plan here for our blue Goth, I wonder? For now, it's just spam, spam, spam. He's sitting at 25 Huskarls. Okay, our Cuman player, very interesting, has decided to go infantry himself. So he's got long swordsmen, which are now two-handed swordsmen. Now, the cool thing about Cumans, he is an Imperial, by the way. Our Goth player is nowhere close to being an Imperial, but here we go. He's attacking the castle. I was going to say the cool thing about the Cumans, even though they are a cavalry civ and very much an archer civ, their infantry get full upgrades and they have champions. So while they're not as cheap or produced as fast as the Goth infantry, they do have more upgrades, because if you take a look at the top left of your screen, the Goths are missing the last defense upgrade for infantry. So I guess that's the kind of trade-off for being able to spam super cheap units, is that they don't get the full upgrades, whereas the Cuman player does. Now, if you were to tell me I was going to cast the game where the Cumans go infantry, I would have said, you know what? I think you're lying, you're making things up. However, I mean, what choice do they have? Can you go step lancers here against Huskarls? I mean, look at the quantity of these Huskarls. He's up to, okay, he's sitting at 22. Finally going up to Imperial is our blue Goth player. But now both players have produced a somewhat forward expansion, very safe ones, and now we're meeting at the center of the map. Houses going down left, right, and center. But our Cuman cavalry player now outnumbers our Goth infantry player in infantry. Yeah, you see, this is what happens. You take your eyes off the screen for 1 second, and 3 Kipchaks just die as if they're made out of, tissue paper. And what can our Goth player do here? I mean, he's got to double down on infantry. He's got to counter these somehow. Sitting at 3 town centers, our Cuman player sitting at 4, I guess by virtue of the extra town center he built during Feudal. And here we go, champion upgrade being researched by our purple Cuman. And I always love watching the units when they upgrade, so we're going to follow along. And in 6 seconds, you'll see these become, oh no, just don't go behind the castle, I want to see it. Okay, they went behind the castle as two-handed swordsmen, and they came out as champions. And here they are. Attack, defense upgrades going down for purple. So his champions are going to be much stronger than our blue players. Oh, that's sour. He didn't even get the Treb, 18 HP. I mean, 2 or 3 more sword strokes and he would have got it. And because of that, the castle will go down. Again, no murder holes by either player. And now we're both an Imperial. Here we go. Let's see this massive... I mean, numbers advantage here goes to purple. So what did you expect? Do you see a single purple unit on the ground? No, it's all Huskarls. It's all blue infantry. How many kills? 10 kills for this little troop of soldiers. And now our Cuman player is out for blood. He's cleaned up the center of the map. He's got a few houses. This is going to go down in about 30-40 seconds. Here come the Rams full of champions. Oh, yes. Our first siege tower is coming out. We'll keep an eye out for it. If you haven't seen siege towers, they're super cool. Unit that did not exist in the original Age of Empires. Oh, yeah. These Kipchaks are just going to be such a pain in the ass, but this is open. Oh, no. This is terrible for our blue Goth player. He is being swamped by purple infantry. Okay, does not notice that this ram is under attack. And our blue Goth is also now going up to champions. And here we go. He researched the second unique research ability, so these barracks are going to just produce... Let's click on a barracks and see how fast. Look at the bottom left of your screen. Look how fast these champions are producing. This is literally 5 or 6 real-life seconds for each champion. So they are incredibly fast. Here it is. There's the siege tower. If you don't know what it does, it allows you to move units over these walls. It's filled with 10 champions. Let's see what he decides to do with it. I don't think he really needed it. That gate was open, but always fun to see. They're super fast. They got a good armor. And now look at that. 10 champions are inside Blue's base. What the hell is he going to do? Where are they going? He's microed them, broken them off. Why were you in the siege tower if you're going to just go back outside? Okay, they've got to be careful, though, because these town centers will eventually... I mean, their Pierce armor is okay. 5, it's not the best. Castle, very much a forward castle going down here by our Cuman players. Still no murder holes. But we're getting chemistry, so these castles are going to pack a punch. These Kipchaks are going to pack a punch. But here comes Blue with his infantry. As I said, weaker. But by sheer volume and speed, advantage here for the... I mean, I was going to say for our Blue Goth until these Kipchaks started firing. And now, dead on arrival is our Blue player. He is fighting from behind. His army supply is 22 to our purple Cumans 48. Just get murder holes. I don't know why pro players don't get murder holes. Is it an expensive upgrade for them? Do they not think they need it? He's got to be careful, though. I mean, these are... Goth units are fantastic, just not against castles. Especially being repaired with how many Kipchaks here? 18 Kipchaks behind. These are, by the way, fully upgraded champions now for both players. But as I said, unfortunately, the Goths do not have the final defense upgrade, so their melee is at a +2 to the +4, a +3 rather, of the Cuman player. Not a huge difference at the moment, given the fact that we only have 6 champions for our Blue Goth. But if we're lucky enough to see mass units, will make a huge difference. Look how fast they'll get rid of this trap. Wow. Yeah, the Kipchaks. So much fun to see. Hit and run, and then immediately retreat behind to the safety of Big Mama, the castle. And what can Blue do here? His supply is literally half of our purple players. His champions are just hanging out in the... Okay. Decides to GG. Overall, a smart move, I think, by Carbo to GG. Purple is just tearing him apart. We've got villagers in the base. Another siege tower. I can't tell if this is running towards. I think it's running away from. Covered in arrows. Yeah, our purple player did the unexpected here and went full infantry. I don't think our Goth player was expecting that. I mean, look at these guys. What are they doing? I would very much put these in military prison after the game. They have 6 kills among them, but, you know, maybe with the villager here was planning to do some kind of backstab attack. That being said, our purple Cuman did not even give him the opportunity. He said, you know what? Keep your side expansions. I'm just going to come at you straight on. And he ended up being victorious. I mean, I was a little bit hesitant in the beginning when the Cuman player built his second town center, put him very far behind our Blue Goth. Our Blue Goth got to castle much earlier, had a huge advantage. But as I was saying earlier, I mean, what was the point of throwing away 14 Huskarls, 3 at a time, 4 at a time in this area, attacking this castle, attacking this town center? Would have been much better served just to mass them. Because like this is not an open map, right? If this was Arabia, that strategy I think would have worked because you could put 6 Huskarls to the south, 6 to the north, 6 head on, but you're behind stone walls. And even with the attack bonus, I mean, these are 2 pro players. Look at their Elos. They're both at around 2,200. You're not going to attack a wall and expect it to go down unless your player is away from the keyboard, AFK. If he's not, he does this, which is walls behind. So I think Blue gave up a little bit of his advantage of having reached castle first by throwing away too many Huskarls. And our purple Cuman Fury, just brilliant move here to go infantry. Like I said, their infantry surprisingly is stronger than the Goth infantry by virtue of having that last upgrade, but produced quicker, spammed, and much cheaper are the Goth infantry units. So always give an advantage to the Goths, but you've got a castle, you've got 17 Kipchaks, you've got 33 champions. Yeah, our Goth player just did not stand a chance. Let's zoom out. Let's see how many barracks he has left, how long he could have kept the fight going. 4 barracks, and the 5th one about to die. Yeah, that's about half to a third of the number of barracks that he needed in order to continually spam infantry to hold back this purple tide. Our purple player, though, 13 barracks. See, this is a player who's gunning to kill you. 13 barracks. I cast a game recently where our Magyar player had, I think, 19 stables. This is the infantry equivalent of that. 13 barracks. And, okay, building stables. Okay. So, and on archery range? Not sure why he's building 1 stable, 1 archery range here. He's sitting on 44 champions in total. So, overall, great game sense here by our purple Cuman player, Fury. Says, you know what? You're known as the infantry civ, but I've noticed that you've thrown away 14, 15, 16 Huskarls. Let me just get my own infantry, and then we'll go toe-to-toe and see who wins when I can back them up with these Kipchaks that are amazing at hit and run. 21 kills for this little battalion. 32 kills for this castle. Wow, 6 villagers, 26 military. Amazing, amazing here. So I think our Goth player, if he was sitting himself on 13 or 14 barracks, I think he could continue to spam and lose infantry until the cows come home. But because he's only sitting on so few barracks, what's he really going to do? I think it was the wise move to GG. He saw the writing on the wall. He knew that purple was just going to keep penetrating his base with champions, driving his attention left, right, and center, and away from the center of the map where he was coming at him strong. Look at this. This is a game-ending force here. I mean, this force here, 3 trebs, Kipchaks, champions, castles to support. Plus, he's sitting at 550 stone, so just a little bit more, and he'll have another castle, or he can just buy 100 stone and build a castle immediately. Yeah, our purple player was going for the throat here. And fantastic, like I said, game decision to go infantry as opposed to doubling down. Sometimes players, they get tunnel visioned on a unit that they like. I know I've done that before. Probably anyone listening to this and watching this has done this before. You like a unit like the Kipchak, and then you just double down, and you give your opponent the ability to build the counter unit, which in this case is the Huskarl. I never noticed that their breastplates had little 6-packs. That's very cute. They look very Roman with those plumes, etc. That being said, fantastic game by both players, playing to this blue player playing to the strength of his civ, purple going completely off-road, off-map, and going infantry, and it worked. So, fantastic game by both. Love to see it. Love to see the bloodshed. 200 kills for Fury, 100 kills for Carbo. And yeah, GG to both. And I'll see everyone in the next one. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.